Imagine racing your feverish toddler through the ER doors, only to be told there's no room for you. That's exactly what happened when Taylor Swift barged into St. Alder Emergency, terrified for her little boy's life. But that hospital didn't know who they were turning away. Within hours, Taylor would wield her true power, firing every single staff member who put policy before people. It was midnight when Taylor Swift's son, Noah, clutched her neck, burning with a high fever. Panic surged through her. She bundled him into a car seat and sped to St. Alder ER, the nearest 24-hour facility. Inside, fluorescent lights gleamed off tiled floors, and the waiting room murmured with tired whispers. Taylor scooped Noah into her arms and rushed to the front desk. "My son needs help. He's burning up," she pleaded. The triage nurse glanced at her watch, then at the VIP card dangling from Taylor's designer lanyard. "Ma'am, unless you have an appointment or it's a genuine emergency, you'll have to wait your turn," the nurse said, voice flat. "We're at capacity." Taylor's heart lurched. She pressed her forehead to the counter. "He's my child. He's in pain." But hospital policy was unyielding. A young intern echoed the nurse. "I'm sorry, Miss Swift, but we can't make exceptions." Defeated but undeterred, Taylor scooped Noah back into his car seat and drove home, where her husband, billionaire tech CEO Ethan Carmichael, met her with equal shock. "They turned away our son," he whispered, horror in his eyes. Back home, Taylor bathed Noah in cool water and dressed him in soft PJs. She monitored his fever, but the chills racking his little frame didn't subside. At 2 a.m., Noah's breathing became labored. Taylor's maternal instinct screamed, "This isn't just a fever, it's serious." She dialed the hospital again, voice trembling. "He's deteriorating. Please, you have to help us." The same nurse's voice crackled. "All beds are full. You can try again in the morning." Tears blurred Taylor's vision. "What do I do?" she sobbed. Ethan placed a comforting hand on her shoulder and said, "We'll sort this in the morning. Right now, I'll stay up with you." They spent the night in vigil. Taylor stroked Noah's hair, while Ethan charted his vitals on a medical-grade monitor he'd had delivered. As dawn painted the sky pink, Noah's fever spiked further, prompting Taylor to make a decision that would change everything. At first light, Taylor and Ethan returned to St. Alder ER, this time armed with proof that few families could match. Ethan pulled out a corporate letterhead signed by the hospital's board chairman, Taylor Swift, patron and board member, St. Alder Medical Foundation. The triage desk fell silent as Taylor laid down the letter, her voice calm but firm. "My son needs immediate care. You cannot refuse me, because I built this place." The nurse's eyes widened. Ethan's presence, a man once banned from the children's ward for disrupting staff, loomed large. In minutes, administrators hustled Taylor and Noah into a private exam room. A specialist arrived, performed tests, and began treatments to lower Noah's fever and address his dehydration. While Noah slept comfortably under observation, Taylor waited in the hospital cafe, steely resolve brewing. She couldn't ignore the night's injustice, and she knew exactly how to fix it. By midday, Taylor convened an emergency meeting in the boardroom she'd helped fund. Hospital executives, legal counsel, and senior doctors assembled around a polished mahogany table. Taylor stood at the head, her trademark blend of grace and grit on full display. "Last night, my son was denied care because your staff followed policy over compassion," she began. Gasps fluttered. "This institution exists to save lives, not reject them. Effective immediately, I'm terminating every employee on duty during that shift, nurses, triage, even the intern." Murmurs rose. The hospital COO sputtered, "Ms. Swift, this is unprecedented." Taylor met his gaze. "This is justice. If you can't prioritize patients, you lose the privilege of serving them." Calls were placed. Security badges were deactivated. One by one, staffers stood at the door as their district managers escorted them out. Taylor's actions shocked the medical community and made headlines. "Pop star fires ER staff over son's care," blared on news tickers. But Taylor didn't stop there. She announced a complete overhaul, new hiring protocols, mandatory empathy training, and a fast-track system for pediatric emergencies. She appointed her close friend, Dr. Lena Cho, as interim chief medical officer to rebuild the team. Weeks later, St. Alder ER reopened with a refreshed staff, smiling under crisp new name tags. The waiting room had been refurnished, exam rooms repainted in soothing pastels, play corners installed for young patients. A new policy board, chaired by Taylor and Ethan, prioritized patient-first initiatives. Noah, now fully recovered, visited the ER with his mother to cut the ceremonial ribbon. He giggled as the nurse practitioner, once the same position that had denied him, guided him through a puppet show they'd created to calm little hearts during treatment. Taylor addressed the gathered staff. "Compassion saved my son's life. Let's make sure no parent ever feels helpless here again." Tears glistened in the eyes of former doubters and new hires alike. The hospital's motto, "Every life matters first," now stamped the ocean blue scrubs of every staff member. Media outlets celebrated St. Alder as a model for reforming hospital care. Parents lined up to share stories of how Taylor Swift's bold stand had rescued not just her child, but families across the community. And as Taylor tucked Noah into his bedtime story that night, she whispered, "Mama's always on your side." In that moment, her grace and her willingness to fire an entire ER staff became a testament to the power of using influence for compassion and change. If Taylor's fierce motherly courage inspired you, tap like, subscribe for more gripping fictional tales, and ring the bell so you never miss a story of empathy turned into action.